Alright, this is going to be a guide for new players coming to Elder Scrolls Online. Maybe this is their first MMO RPG they've ever played, or maybe they're coming over from another game like I did. So, when you come to the character creation screen, you have, on the right side here, you have some races to pick between and alliances. So we're going to start with the races, and there are 10 races in the game. Although the Imperial is locked, you have to buy that with extra money. So each race, they all have their own little racial bonuses. They're very slight, however, so unless you're a min-maxer and going for maximum damage, it's not really going to matter that much. Like, the Dark Elves, they get extra fire damage, so if you're going to be a Dragon Knight, Dark Elves make a good Dragon Knight. This is different than how it is in World of Warcraft, where they're usually clear winners of racial abilities, such as orcs and humans are pretty popular just for their racial abilities. They make pretty much the best of every class. And if you Star Wars: The Old Republic is the other side of it, where their racial abilities are purely cosmetic. They don't actually do anything. They're just for looks, like just emotes and stuff. So after you pick a race, and we go over to pick a class. And there are 5 classes in the game. However, the Warden is locked behind a DLC. You have to purchase the Morrowind expansion to get access to that. Each class, unlike other games, is able to fulfill every role. So a sorcerer, you typically think wizard and damage, but they can do heals and tanking, whatever. It's possible to do whatever you want. However, some classes excel in one area over the other. So other MMOs like World of Warcraft, they'll limit you based on what type of armor or weapons you can wear. In Elder Scrolls, you can wear whatever armor you want. You can be a sorcerer wearing heavy armor, wielding a battle axe if you want to. That's up to you. Going back to the first page with the alliances. When the game first launched, you could only play with members of your own alliance. However, in a future update, they removed that, so your faction doesn't really matter aside from which zones you start questing through, and World PvP in Cyrodiil, which is 3-on-3, faction against faction against faction. But if you just want to play with friends and just be on the same side fighting monsters in dungeons, then this will work just fine. Pick any faction you want. So once you pick your class, then you go over here and you have all these different sliders to make your character look however you want. You can get pretty good idea. You can make almost anything you want. And then on the left here, you can kind of get a preview of what your class will look like when they're fully geared out. You get to do the face too, their voices, and then you can type in a name. I'm just sure that works. Then when you hit play, if this is the first time playing, it's going to make you do the tutorial. I advise doing the tutorial whenever you make other characters after your first one, because it gives you more XP and stuff. But just for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to skip that. And just hop right into the game. The reasons you want to do the tutorial are they tell you about how the skills work and how combat works. Combat in this game is very interactive, unlike other MMOs where you just stand around and click a button. This, you have to move around and you have to dodge. You have actual abilities to block and stuff. Like if I hold my right mouse button, I'll block. So we're gonna go outside. And there are around, it shows you, so I have skills open. So when you open up your character screen by hitting C, you get to put points in magic, health, and stamina. These will be important later on depending on what you're going for. Like usually, if you're gonna, Nightblade, stamina is really popular. It helps you deal more damage with your weapons. So then here comes your skill trees. So basically every time you level up, you get a skill point and you get to put them into here. And your abilities will go down onto a bar. You can only have 5 abilities slotted at one time and an ultimate. I advise for leveling that you have at least 1 from each of your main 3 skill lines. So if you're Nightblade, 1 from Assassination, 1 from Shadow, 1 from Siphoning, and then pick 2 skills from the weapon you want to use most. So if you're going to dual wield, there'll be a dual wield tree. I just don't have it shown on here yet. You can put 2 dual wield, and then 1, 2, 3 for Assassination, Shadow, and Siphoning, and that's how your skills level up. Each of these trees, all of them on this list, are out of 50 points, okay? So you get when you earn XP and you have your abilities slotted on the bottom, your XP with that skill line is going to go up. So you want to have abilities slotted so you gain XP. Eventually, you're going to want to max out all your trees, so that's why you're going to want to do that. Another thing below your skill points are sky shards, okay? For every 3 sky shards you find out in the world, they're like these little blue crystals that shoot beams of light into the sky. Every 3 of them you find, you get an extra skill point. So it's important to go out and try and find them. There are add-ons that you can download from the internet. There's a app called Minion. If you download Minion, they have tons of add-ons for Elder Scrolls Online, and one of them is a sky shard map. So it'll mark where all the sky shards are on your map. I have that. I just got to zoom out. Like, let's see. That's what they'll look like if you have the Sky Shard Hunter. It just shows you where all of them are, and I think it said there's 405 in the game. After you start getting your character going and you get to a main city, you can join player guilds. And guilds allow you to use their guild trader. It helps you connect with people to get together and play. In this game, you can be part of 4 guilds at the same time, which is 4 or 5. Which is different than any other MMO because they limit you to 1. So by being in 4, you can really get a wide variety of, find a wide variety of people, have more guild traders, more guild banks to put stuff into. So also once you get to a main city, you're going to want to join the Mages Guild, Fighters Guild, and Undaunted. They give you exclusive skill lines that go on, that'll appear here, and they level through unique ways. So like the Fighters Guild, whenever you kill undead or vampires or demons, your skills with the Fighters Guild go up. Mages Guild, they're similar to Sky Shards on how you rank up. You have to find these purple glowing books around the world, and that'll rank up your Mages Guild skill. And then the Undaunted is a guild, or you rank up with the Undaunted by running dungeons and doing dolmens and doing trials. Well, that's just like the equivalent of raids from World of Warcraft. So I think that wraps it up for the first video. I'm gonna make more videos like this video. The next one is going to be about crafting in Elder Scrolls Online, which is a very important part of the game. Crafting allows you to make potions and upgrade your armor, and it's very important to get a good start on it when you start playing the game. All right, I'll be back with another video soon.